I'm going to show you something cool. This is pDAI related. This is PulseChain related. This is the PulseChain Pioneers related, okay? Thank you to my friend Fadamada. I'm going to go through these friends. I know it seems like a wall of text, but there is a city being built on PulseChain for 2 years, okay? Since day one. And there are these pioneers. Now, remember, as I describe them, okay, there's engineers. They're not just turkey slapping, but they've got cranes. They're hoisting things up. It really is a city, friends. What I'll do is I just want to show you city under construction. That is what is going on. Let me actually show you. This is it. Cities under construction. You see these like skyscrapers and everything out here. Now, we have to look at these because you're a baby doll. And we got to remember, you are my friend. And it's a metaphor, friends, okay? It's just a metaphor. Because what does it actually really look like? Well, it's a bit messy. Because what it really looks like is more like, you know, your cylinders and your vote proxy and your IOU and the governance user, the drip. What's a drip? My gosh, you know? Well, that's something for the bedroom, you know? The drip. What's this? The CDP, STD. There's a gem here. What's a gem? Urn. All right, if you play Dark Souls, you throw the urns out. You know what I mean? Like just, but that's what it looks like. It's all these addresses and stuff moving around, okay? So you see that, friend? So, well, what's actually happening is, okay, we can describe what is going on. Thank you to my friend, Mr. Fadamada. So what the hell is actually going on? So I call them PulseChain Pioneers. The AI example says they, which is a shadowy cabal of insiders or whales, have seized PulseChain's DeFi ecosystem to fix pDAI's broken $1 peg. Interesting choice of words from the AI, by the way. They said these people are wielding PulseChain Maker, PulseChain Aave, PulseChain Compound, PulseChain Balancer, PulseChain Curve, and PulseChain BadgerDAO. And what I've done for you, baby dolls, I've actually made this very lovely, cute picture here for you to show you this, just to give you the logos and stuff. So you have, see pDAI in the middle. You've got PulseChain Curve, PulseChain Aave, PulseChain Maker, PulseChain Compound. And the dev, me, obviously as a joke and fun. I don't know who's doing these ones. I don't know who the pioneers are. Who's doing, are they good? Are they bad? What's going on? I know my nipples are pegged. Okay. And you know, friends, I've got to repeat to you as well. Assume I've sold. If you are long any coin, I don't care if it's pDAI, I don't care if it's whatever, okay? If you are long because you think I'm long, okay, if that's your reason, you should probably sell. If that's your reason. You go, oh, maybe this guy's like, you should probably sell. I'm just telling you, with anything. All right? It's up to you. It's literally up to you. All I can do is I'm making content for me. Yeah, I'm making content for me so people can see both sides. Now, this AI, it goes even further, right? So he says, there's PulseChain Badger. Remember, friends, Badger. I think, if you remember, Celsius was farming on BadgerDAO protocol, and they were farming using the Bitcoin, and I think there was an exploit. So, friends, you got to be careful, okay? BadgerDAO, the exploit, I think what ended up happening was, they did a very sneaky exploit. They went to, whoever hacked it, went to their front-end website, and when you come to swap, I think it authorizes, there's like maybe like approve. One of the like 4 approvals, I think, pointed somewhere else. It approved another wallet to steal your money. I think Celsius lost like, millions and millions of dollars. I think. I forgot what happened, but you have to be careful. Like, that was really scary because a website, see, they hacked the website, but they left everything the same. And then they went deep into it and they like did one trick. One trick. All right. Now, the AI says here, look at the summary. The BadgerDAO is the heavy hitter for PulseChain here, owning the Gravy Aura pool that dominates Balancer and Curve, which rules over Curve. This is a power play to control liquidity, collateral, and yields across PulseChain. And here is how it's unfolding. So they've actually have here. So they have PulseChain MakerDAO is the foundation. They've said they've retooled MakerDAO to rely on external protocols instead of just vaults. They've controlled PulseChain makers' governance. They, the PulseChain pioneers, dictate pDAI's minting and burning. I think that's what we've been seeing, right? So if they withdraw out of the vault, it looks like, oh, I've minted out of thin air. You know. Next thing, there's PulseChain Aave and Compound. Remember their money markets? Yeah, remember MakerDAO? That is the heart, the issuer of the DAI. Yeah. Now you're moving on to the the Aave and the Compound, right? So remember, Maker's up here, Compound's here, and then Aave's here. Those are the logos. Now they've said PulseChain Aave and Compound are leverage engines. Aave mints to over-collateralize the Maker vaults. Compound will lend the Maker and the pDAI to keep the system liquid. Both scale with the joy. So I know, what does that mean? Things moving in and out. Just you see the friends. I'm just like, I'm not going into the leaves. I'm like, something's happening. Something is happening. That's all I'm looking at. They also go through PulseChain BadgerDAO and PulseChain Curve. They go through Balancer controlling this Aura pool. Man, it's really complicated. You didn't even pause and read this. Badger's Bitcoin angle. PulseChain Badger likely brings PulseChain Bitcoin into the mix, collateralizing the pDAI vaults or yielding the Badger tokens via these other set vaults. So, all see, man, more terms introduced, more words. It gets complicated. That's why I'm saying, like, someone building this complexity, I don't think they're a bad actor, man. I just don't. I don't. Friends, I'll give you an example. You walk into your friend's home, yeah? And then you see these renovations at the back. There's a new fountain. They've extended the house. There's cement. There's gyprock and there's bricks, whatever. There's this construction stuff going on. So when you look at it, you're like, okay, it could be a thief. It could, right? What are the odds that the people right there, they've broken into your friend's home and they've decided to renovate his home for the past 6 months? It could be a thief, friends, right? That's like 1% odds though. To me, I'm like, bro, 99% chance it ain't a thief. They're there deliberately. Why choose that house? Why do that? Why do everything nice, by the way? Why are you like making the walls nice and even instead of like breaking walls down? Why aren't you doing that? That's what I'm seeing. That's why I'm looking at the crowd. I'm like, oh, 96% of the crowd's on one side, 4% is on the other side. That's the market cap differential of these. Okay, pDAI versus everyone else. I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, something don't add up right. Because if these were bad actors to me, like, man, you should be like flopping your dong out and destroying a lot of stuff. That's what I think would be happening. And now I'll tell you about the grand plan. The grand plan. So the PulseChain pioneers are crafting a DeFi Juggernaut. It's a Juggernaut, bitch. You ever watch that, friends? To peg pDAI. They're crafting a DeFi Juggernaut to peg the pDAI. And they say, with the PulseChain MakerDAO as the core, Aave and Compound as the muscles, and then the Curve pool as the fuel, and PulseChain Badger's Bitcoin as the trust. It is a takeover to own PulseChain's financial arteries, profiting from yield, arbitrage, or control. Success crowns them emperors. Failure torches a $10 billion empire. I want you to read that again at the very, very bottom. Success crowns them emperors. Failure torches a $10 billion empire. They even have, this is so beautiful, man. They even have, how does Badger's pool ownership fit? And they have an explanation here. Look, Badger directs fees to Aave, ensuring the loop never starves. PulseChain Bitcoin's inclusion ties it to Badger's BTC roots. Why does it matter, they say? Well, PulseChain Badger is the kingmaker. Owning the top pool and this aura gives they unmatched control over PulseChain's automatic market makers. Wow, there's yield, there's trading. No one can compete with that liquidity muscle. Interesting. And it also says peg stability, why it matters. PulseChain Bitcoin in these pools adds a blue chip asset to pDAI's backing, while pBadger's yield keeps the system solvent until liquidity or trust runs dry. Friends, like I'm telling you, man, you're reading all these, you're like, Somi, I don't understand 99% of those words, and guess what, friends? I don't either. All I can do is peg my nipples and pray I live another day. But man, it looks like, friends, something big's being built, man. It's calling it a DeFi juggernaut. Like, there's big stuff being built. The cranes are there. They're putting fountains. There's a sandwich shop. Maybe Richard Hart lives on top of one, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So there is things being built. They're not destroying stuff. They're pointing stuff towards it. They're building and building and on-chain speech. Okay, so that's why I guess my friendship role here is when I'm looking at this, I'm just trying to show you what I see is I'm seeing a metaphoric city. Okay? Because if you don't have these friends, you see a bunch of random stuff. You go, oh, this guy said infinite minting. This guy said 0. This guy said stop sucking middleman D. This guy said, okay, man, okay. This looks like a city being built. Could be nothing, though. Could be nothing. So I have a cute picture here. Thank you to Mr. Davey Hawkins. It's me and Matty Allen. And I'm like saying, believe in something. And Matty's saying, new pDAI, come sack. So why this is, I put this here, okay? Because I just want you to see, okay? I get asked, okay, what would even make you change your mind? Well, the DeFi juggernaut, man, that would make me change my mind, okay? The DeFi juggernaut, the PulseChain pioneers are building, whoever they are, don't know who they are, don't know who operates them. Ooh, okay? They're building for PulseChain to be great and big. And they are pointing the addresses to pDAI. This pDAI. Okay, remove the logo. Forget you know the name. They're pointing it to an address that ends with D0F. D for dong, 0 for 0 amounts of soy, and F for friendship. So, you know, there is a part here as well. And I don't understand all, but let's read it together. Oracle reset endgame. Resetting PulseChain Maker's Oracle will trigger a monster flop auction. Remember the flop your willy out auction? They auction out the tokens. To buy the token, right, like Maker, you've got to place pDAI in, and then you get the Maker, but the protocol chews up the pDAI and it burns it. Okay, so if you reset the PulseChain Maker protocol, you trigger this auction, revaluing collateral and burning 16 billion pDAI down to 10 billion. So I think there's around 26 now. If you got rid of 16, man, you've only got 10 billion left. Like, man, if this happens, that'll be like price. By the way, it's not going to happen overnight and then price is up. I think this happens over time. The market adjusts. That might even be one of the bull narratives if it plays out. Because like now, when people who are saying it can't happen, remember, they're looking at, oh, we need to account for 26 billion tokens. But if it was eventually 10, now they go like, oh, now we have to account for 10. Okay, so like, oh, I wonder if it halves again. What if in the next phase it can get it down to 5? Don't know what's happening, just telling you. Post-reset, minting tightens, the debt ceiling fades, and they, the PulseChain pioneers, rule via DS proxy ownership of pMaker, Pave, pComp, pBAO, and pCurve. Okay? So, very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. I like this grand plan, right? Remember, friends, I told you, they're crafting a DeFi juggernaut. That's what they're all pointing towards. Shout out to all the baby dolls with the comments as well. Only 2 P copies I owned. Mr. Options Bronson, they're going to fix pDAI and then someone will figure out the PBTC printing glitch and we'll start the whole fiasco again. Very interesting. Somi, that sounds complicated. Can you make a video for dummies to understand how they all work together? Well, Mr. Alex, this is your video right now. So we've gone through it. There are also complications. I've shown you the pictures. Like, this is the thing. It's tough, man, because like in crypto, like we have limited time. So like, there's 50 things you can research every day, 50 thousands of things. Like you run out of time trying to measure everything up at once. That's why, like, in investing, friends, people who can people with visionaries, they're the ones that basically, when you say visionaries, like you can see the long-term trend. They're the ones that end up making it because they don't need to look at the leaves all the time. They can see, like I'm seeing a big city. I'm seeing PulseChain Pioneer 1, 2, and 3 random wallets appearing. Don't know where you are. Don't know who you're from. Don't know who you know. I know you got a lollipop. Okay. I'm seeing them build, raiding different vaults, collecting stuff, pointing the protocol to pDAI here, pointing the protocol to pDAI there, PUSDC and pDAI peg, right? Which I'll show you like this, right? You're seeing like peg, you know what I mean? Like this thing is pegged for 7 months. You see like basically there's like, it's like an aeroplane and it's like flying and they're like just getting all the engine and everything to go up and they're like, it's like, hey, you're preparing for the autopilot once it's up there. You know, that's what it is. So this thing is like trying to fly. It's an aeroplane, right? Here's the aeroplane. Whee! The mod glasses, they're trying to fly. And then as it's trying to go up, people are saying, no, you're going to crash now. And then I'm like saying, no, these engineers are pretty confident that there's an autopilot up there. The autopilot, and then like that's what we're all hoping. We're hoping it goes all the way up and then boop. And then you just have the autopilot. That's the $1 peg. If it happens. Don't know if it happens, okay? But that's everything in a nutshell. You have to decide, you know, you want to fade it. You want to do something. This is why it's gripped everybody. It's gripped everyone. And yeah. I don't care what people think. I've said 1,000. I literally could not care less. Okay? I couldn't care. If I cared what people thought, I'd be a billionaire by now because you'd all be right. Yeah? Because following the crowd would make me millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars every week. If I really cared about the crowd, that's the outcome for everyone else. We know that ain't the truth though. So you got to do stuff yourself. I'm doing my stuff myself. Doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just doing it myself. I know eventually though, this path leads to friendship. Okay? There is friendship on the horizon. What do you think? Like, subscribe, catch you soon.